MicCHEK is proudly supported by Island Eye Care. Do your eyes itch, water, or burn? Say goodbye to dry eye. Call Island Eye Care today. This is Port Renfrew, a quiet and pristine pocket of southwest Vancouver Island. A couple of hours from Victoria, it can be tough to get to. Right now, the population is around 300. A developer is looking to change that in a very big way. But is the community on board? Let's find out. This is Rebuilding Renfrew.
Port Renfrew Management owns 90% of the lands designated for residential growth. If we have the ability to move forward, I'd look at this as being a good location for an event center, boutique hotel.
You can see all that up there now. It's all gone. It's where it's been logged, and to change it to houses, no, I think it's
not for you.
Not for me, no.
There's a lot of lack of servicing here with infrastructure, sewer, water. There's also a lack of emergency services here with fire and ambulance. There isn't that foundation to just keep building up that vacation short-term rental market.
So this is a huge area of land. What are we looking at here, Carl?
You're looking at about 430 acres of land zoned for residential development in Port Renfrew. So this is a potential event center with a community gathering space here, a mixed use over in here with some retail and commercial and residences.
You're essentially building a new community. Is that where you're, have you ever done this before?
No, no. You have to have some vision, there's no question, and a lot of planning. Yeah. And again, because it's such a large piece of the community, you want to do it right.
So what, in your eyes, is this area maybe missing, and what will you be providing?
Another great question. As you come into Port Renfrew right now, it's like one central strip, and it ends at the pub, at the Renfrew pub. There is really no gathering area or central hub. So in essence of what we're building or planning here is that central hub location that every town has, where you have some retail, a little bit of commercial, and that people can gather. And that's something that's been missing here from feedback from the community over the last 10 or 12 years. We've heard that we need a town center or a village center.
So this is low density as of right now. I think the population, Port Renfrew, is around 300 at this moment. In your eye, in the highest level, what number could you get to as far as a community?
Well, that depends on the number of people that want to move here eventually, but I would think that it'd be somewhere in the 1,500 to 2,000 person range. It could be potentially as a growth area. Port Renfrew is actually the last haven for development on the southwest of Vancouver Island. There is no other land that's designated for growth due to the growth strategy that's been created by the CRD.
Wow, and how much of that growth area do you now own?
Port Renfrew Management owns about 90% of the lands designated for residential growth. That's through the current OCP, which is under review right now.
Okay, leaning into your ultimate vision, who moves here and what sort of amenities will they have?
Double income, no kids right now is a draw. And hopefully in the future with the school upgrades that are being discussed now through the province and the First Nation here, that we'll be able to see a K-12 school which will open up for or full families to move here and be a part of the community.
So we're just up from the main road, Parkinson, here across the bay from the Pacheedaht First Nation. This is key in your vision. Where are we right now?
Yeah, we're standing right in the center of what will be the new core area or community hub. Basically, the road comes in from Parkinson. We're right across from Pacific Gateway Marina. Road will come up, and the vision is to have retail and commercial on either side of the road.
And how far in your vision will that stretch?
That'll stretch up here about another 200 to 300 meters from this point, and it will encompass both sides of the road. So following this down would be Business Park on the right, and then on the left would be your potential spa area as well.
Now, a lot of this seems to ride on the OCP, or the official community plan. When is that coming through?
The CRD and the consultant who's doing the review say that that process should be completed by the end of this year. Then we'll know what we have to work with, and we can start narrowing down our plans for individual subdivisions.
You get a sense of, if you build it, they will come in this area, except your field of dreams is a lot bigger than most fields, I would say, right?
Yeah, definitely. You know, there is a push out here now. People want to be here. They want to be next to nature. And as we build it and provide infrastructure upgrades, they will come.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I mean, how many people who are interested that you've spoken to just happen to be surfers as well?
Yeah, the surfers, you know, a lot of those surfers started surfing when they were in their teens, and now they're in their 40s and 50s and want a nice warm place to come back to. So in our inaugural development here at Beachy Rise, I think 70% of the family, somebody in the family surfs.
I figured as much. Yeah, okay. So surf during the day and get to your luxury at night.
Yeah.
This is one of the most stunning views I've seen on this property so far. What would be your vision for this area right here?
Well, given the approval process, and if we have the ability to move forward, I'd look at this as being a good location for an event center, boutique hotel type thing, a community gathering space. Because of obviously the view is spectacular. You're looking at Pacific Rim National Park, the beach, and it doesn't get any better.
No, that's a 5-star view. Maybe even more. 7-star? Can we go higher? Yeah, it's stunning. From this vantage point here, Carl, we can see the Pacheedaht First Nation, obviously a key part of this community. So how important is that piece and that dialogue, and is there room to grow there?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We've been here 12 years now, and getting to know the nation, you know, slowly. It's a process. We're open to communication as they are, and you know, when it suits them. And you know, for a community to be successful, everyone has to be successful, and we see the nation as a key part of that.
Is there a world where you really can work together in this development as well?
Oh, I can't see why not. Yeah, absolutely. It's just, all it takes is conversation, and it opens the door to everything.
Yeah, and it's a conversation you're willing to have with them?
Yeah, no question.
And up next, we'll head across the water to the Pacheedaht First Nation to get their thoughts and concerns on this massive development.
You know, it's something our chief has said is we don't have any interest in being the next Tofino. That's often been said about Pacheedaht's territory because everybody sees that opportunity here. But the real opportunity is to do things appropriately, to do things sustainably, to do things well.
We're here in Port Renfrew, where we just heard from a developer who has big ideas that would forever change the face of this region. Well, the Pacheedaht First Nation is facing that development, so we wanted to get their thoughts and concerns. I'm here with Stanley Jones now from the Pacheedaht First Nation. And first of all, Stan, how long have you lived in this area of the world?
Probably about 35 years now. Moved back home from the city. Yeah.
What made you want to come back here?
To learn my background and culture.
All right, Stan, so this is part of the Pacheedaht Nation land. And this is the view that you've had for a very long time.
Yeah.
And that is part of the concern for your nation?
Yeah, it's you can see all that up there now. It's all gone. It's where it's been logged, and to change it to houses. No, it's
not for you?
Not for me, no. I moved away from the city to get away from that.
Is it more dividing a lot of people in the community right now?
It's dividing, and like and it's bringing more excitement and work here. That's what it's bringing, and I don't know. The tourism is one of the main things here, and not. But it's seasonal. Like they come here and they go.
Right.
come here and go.
You want this to be a community.
Yeah.
You want people to live here.
Definitely.
Yeah. We are here on Pacheedaht Nation land. I'm joined by Christine Gatsky. And Christine, maybe tell me about your role within the Pacheedaht.
Yeah, sure. I'm the referrals manager for the nation. I also work at the treaty department and work with chief and council. And referrals deals with all the authorizations for the federal government, provincial government, municipal government, locally, liaisoning with the community here.
Okay, now I want to get into what we're here for and talking about the development. But first and foremost, can you just tell me about the beauty and the importance of this area through your eyes?
Yeah, sure. We're on reserve land here. We're situated on the Pacheedaht campground on the Gordon River. Campground being a tremendous business, and we're very proud of it and expanding on it year after year. It's a focus for us right now. And then the entrance to the West Coast Trail is situated just on the beach over here. So we're very active in that as well.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful area. Talk about the cultural significance of the area as well, because it's quite abundant in that, right?
On the San Juan side where that development is proposed, that was a large village site as well that ran from about where the Port Renfrew pub is at Snuggery Cove, wrapping along inside of the San Juan River, including the village site at Beach Camp and up into the cultural forest where this development is proposed. So very extensive, dense use of that area with the cedar resources.
Let's talk about the development and the proposal from what you understand, from what we understand. We've only been given a snippet, an idea of what it is. Can you give us a sense of what you know and your work within that as well?
Sure. This particular development application, we've been working with this for many years. I think this current landowner's had the land for about a decade, a little bit over, but been working with the previous landowners prior to that as well. Conducting a series of different cultural studies, archaeological studies. And so the thought of having housing there that isn't necessarily long-term sustainable community development type housing is a threat. It's not a benefit to the local people here, to Pacheedaht people, in terms of trying to create some sustainable community development. We really struggle with that. There's a lot of lack of servicing here. The list is so long. That's where you're getting this level of anxiety and concern coming from this area, from Pacheedaht, from Port Renfrew. The infrastructure concerns, sewer leaching into the river, the rivers, the ocean. Our sewer system is of age, we'll say.
Yes.
The water issues, water contamination issues, water availability, supply. The roads coming out from Victoria, you drove out on the road. It's had small incremental improvements, but the safety level of it is not there. It often closes in the winter. Our bus got stuck there, with all of our kids this winter when trees came down. There's no one to rescue them. So emergency services, fire, ambulance, getting a proper helicopter pad for extractions. The list goes on.
It's a long list before you welcome everyone into this.
It's the basics.
Right.
Our school, making sure that there's full-time residency being promoted, and to understand the enrollment numbers so that we can build the K-12 school that everybody needs. On and on and on. It's the basics. It's the basics for community development. So when you're advertising coming and living in a small community where everybody knows each other and it's welcoming and everybody's supported and takes care of each other, there's a threat to that right now. So there isn't that foundation to just keep building up that vacation short-term rental market, which isn't directly benefiting the people here. It's very much a come and go and extraction sort of industry at this point in time. Something our chief has said is we don't have any interest in being the next Tofino. That's often been said about Pacheedaht's territory because everybody sees that opportunity here. But the real opportunity is to do things appropriately, to do things sustainably, to do things well. and to get that foundation done before really opening up the doors to the world. We're right there. We're right at that precipice. It's really exciting. It's a really exciting opportunity for everybody, and we just hope that we can be thoroughly included in that.
Right. So it seems to me like you are very open, and the Pacheedaht people are open to development just as long as it's done the right way.
Yeah, I think we really would like viewers to hear the concerns existing on the ground here, like the struggles that go on for the people of Pacheedaht, the people of Port Renfrew. Acknowledge these things and address them. You know, we have a Coast Guard station that we've been working on again for a number of years that looks like it's about ready to lift off, and that's going to provide huge emergency service capacity. We're working on the elementary school for Port Renfrew and Pacheedaht for everybody.
Because right now it's K to 6, is it?
K to 5.
Yeah.
We're aiming for a K to 12. So, you know, Pacheedaht is doing a lot of that heavy lifting alongside the locals of Port Renfrew to try and build this foundation so that we can welcome visitors.
Ideally, from the nation's perspective, what does Port Renfrew look like in 15 years?
Well, I think there's just such, like, I think the place that we're at is seeing that immense opportunity.
Right.
You know, like, it's unparalleled. And I think that other, developers and others are starting to really realize that. Proximity to Victoria, now we have cell phone service. I was looking at a little bit of the videos around the marketing for Port Renfrew yesterday, and come work remotely from Port Renfrew and enjoy this pristine paradise. Like, that's all fine and well, but here, like being here, we're looking to try and attract full-time residents that want to have professional employment here, to bring those expertise here and start building that community.
Right. There seems to be a bit of a breakdown of communication between the developer and the First Nation. Why do you think that is?
Well, we've conducted, like I've mentioned to you, a series of archaeological reports. I think, this is fairly typical in my experience that once those reports are conducted, especially, depending on who's paying for them, that there's a thought that things are complete, like the report is done, that information's captured, we can move on. And so the opportunity is now. Once approvals get in place, the leverage is gone, and the concerns, they disintegrate, degrade.
Would you be willing to sit down with the developer and have that conversation?
I have in the past, and yes, be willing to. Again, we need to have something to talk about.
Yeah.
One of the things we've been asking for is to have an understanding of what the development plans are.
Right.
Like, it sounds, at least from our point of view, pretty simple ask.
Yeah, I mean, you can ask them that today if you want. I think that's an important question, right? And you deserve to know.
Well, I think mentioned to you, like, I think we'd be happy to explore that.
Yeah.
But I think from leadership's perspective, we'd like to be able to have that information first. Free, prior, informed consent, right? That's untrue. So it's just kind of it's a basic ask, I think.
Fair enough.
I don't think they're unaware of what we'd be bringing to the table.
Right.
We're not aware of what they're proposing.
So with the Pacheedaht First Nation and the developer both up for a conversation, that happens next.
Hi, Christine. Good to see you again.
This is Port Renfrew. Today, we met a developer who has big plans for the region. We also met the Pacheedaht First Nation, who has some concerns with those plans. Now, it turns out a lot of their conversations are happening through the province. So we offered both sides to sit down face to face and have a conversation. This is that conversation.
Hi, Christine. Good to see you again.
Hi, Carl. So we've sat at the table a number of times in the past, and I understand that you've brought some plans to the table recently, and there's concerns that I think you're aware from our past meetings around the build out of your plans on your land base and the cultural significance of those lands. There's also concerns from Pacheedaht and from Port Renfrew around infrastructure, which I think you're also very aware of. There's quite a dense cultural significance to that area. And so I think you and I have sat in the past, and we're really looking forward to trying to find a solution to that. There's not a level of comfort necessarily right now, and I think we'd like to try and find a way to do things more respectfully, more inclusively, once we understand your vision a little bit more clearly.
Yeah, and that's all good information, and we're very aware of all of this, obviously, from our past conversations. And any plans that we've put forward now are really based upon a blank canvas and just some vision thoughts and renderings of what could be. And I think the OCP outcome is going to be a big part of that, and then looking at from the OCP what comes into bylaw, what we can and can't do based upon that, as well as the areas of cultural significance that have been identified through the AIA process, of which we've both been involved. So as we move forward, that'll become a little bit more, I think, collaborative in terms of discussions to figure out what's going to be best for the build out of Port Renfrew for the future.
Yeah, well, I think the message from the chief, she would like to be here today. She is not able to be here, but just on behalf of Pacheedaht, that in her words, that she wants to see Pacheedaht to be part of that vision. It's critical in her mind to be inclusive in the process. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sounds good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look forward to it.
Okay.
Clearly, an important conversation that will continue at all levels. And speaking to people in this community, there's many who would welcome more business in town, while others are happy keeping it quiet. Either way, it's clear that change is coming to Port Renfrew.